Hello, Jenny Carlson here, the Body Image Builder, live on Facebook. And we are talking about, let's get this good here. I want to talk to you today about the summer solstice and full moon in June 2016. This hasn't happened, having the summer solstice and the full moon on the same day hasn't happened since 1948. That was a long time ago. So there's some really cool things we're going to talk about. First, summer solstice. Summer solstice is a time of power, right? We have the longest, lightest day in the year, and we get to celebrate energy, fire, power, courage, strength. We're harvesting. We're not harvesting, but we're planting seeds, and they're starting to swell and grow, and that's really exciting. It's the day where lightness overcomes darkness. We literally have more light than we do dark. And let's talk about the inner light within us. You know, how is that shining? How are we doing there? And are we overcoming the darkness within ourselves? In ancient practices, they would set fire all day long, and they would burn out the impurities. They would set fire around their herds of cattle. They set fire around their orchards and their fields so that they could burn out the impurities. They would jump through the fire and over the fire and dance around it to burn out any impurities that they have within themselves energetically. And so it's a really fun practice of the summer solstice. In yoga, we practice the solstices and equinoxes by doing 108 sun salutations. So this morning I practiced that, and we literally are burning off our impurities. We're burning our fat, right, and toxins within us, but also energetically, any of the impurities that we have within us, we're burning those off with all of that heat and fire. Now, full moon energy is our feminine, our divine feminine energy. And this is our creativity and our softer, our flow, as compared to our power of the sun. And so it's really cool that today the sun and the moon come together. In fact, tonight when you look in the sky, you will be able to see the sun and the moon together. So we get to honor both our masculine and our feminine, our fire and our water. And so thinking, how can we bring them together? Do we in our lives have so much fire and power and control that we've evaporated and we've used up all of our flow and our creativity? We're so rigid and like powering through everything that we're burning and leaving a trail behind us of disaster and destruction. Or do we have so much water and fluidity and flow that we've doused our power and our ability to move forward and go through obstacles, and then we've flooded and saturated so things don't grow? You know, either or. If we have too much sun and not enough water, we're in a drought. If we have too much water, not enough sun, then we have a flood. And either way, things can't grow and be nurtured. So being able to find that balance where the two come together, and we have the fire and the energy for things to move and grow, but we also have the water and the softness so that we can be mobile and move. So some things that we can do to kind of honor this fire and water within us, this masculine and feminine, to balance them. In yoga today, I had everybody write down a limiting belief that they want to get rid of, that is no longer serving them, and then the exact opposite that they want to embrace and embody. And as we moved and we sweat and we powered through these strong, hard poses, we thought, okay, how can I soften and transform this belief? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transformed. So this limiting belief, this thought that we have, is energy. And we can't just get rid of it. We have to transform it. We have to change the energy of this limiting belief into something else, something that we can use and create with instead of destroy. So what is a limiting belief that you've been holding on to? And how can we transform it into something that does work for us? So some questions for you to ask yourself is, how can I release this limiting belief to achieve a higher vibration, a higher frequency? What can I prune right? We've been talking about this growing metaphor. What can I prune? What can I take away from my life? What that's not detracting from the main root, the main stem that's going to bear the most fruit? These extracurricular activities that we've got going where we're focusing energy where we don't need to focus it. What can we prune off and chop off so that we can have freedom and soar? Where can I turn for inspiration and assistance? We can't grow a whole field of crops on our own. We need help. We need others. So where can we ask, where can we get that? What are the best ways to refresh myself? Not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. Right now, as we're talking, this is kind of a mental exercise, but physically, how can I rest and rejuvenate? How can I relax? Spiritually, how can I rest and relax and rejuvenate? Physically, what are we doing to rest and relax and rejuvenate? And then what wisdom is seeking to reveal itself to me now? So if we think in times of harvest, we've planted the seeds in the springtime, and now then we've watered them and we've given them sunlight, and the seeds have swelled and they've burst and they've started to poke through the earth and blossom and bloom. Where are you blossoming and blooming, and what do you need to help you blossom and bloom more? Where can we find that wisdom? What is trying to find you? Reveal itself to you. Instead of thinking, I've got to search, I've got to look, what is already within you that is just calling for you to recognize it, to be aware of it? Do you guys have any questions about the solstice, the summer solstice, or the full moon, or what we can do to bring the sun and moon together? And go ahead and ask those questions below, and I will answer them if I can. Oh no, I have a hurt child. Are you okay? No, come here. Let me give you a hug while we see if we have any questions. So if you do have a yoga practice, 108 sun salutations. And if you know moon salutations, what we did in class today was we did a mixture of moon and sun salutations. So we did 27 sun, 27 moon, 27 sun, and 27 moon to create 108. And we combine that sun and moon energy, the masculine and feminine, the fire and the fluidity. If you know yoga, the sun salutation is very heat building and it's very linear. It's just up and down. You move up, you move down, you move back, you move up. And a moon salutation is more flowy. You go side to side. It's expansive. The arms open wide and you flow and create that fluidity. So any questions about the sun and the moon and how we can harness our masculine and feminine power? No questions so far. Give Dill a hug for me. That was Devin. It was Devin. She hurt herself, but I think she's okay. Thank you, Erin. Appreciate your love. Okay, so I want you to, the 7 days leading up to and the 7 days after these powerful energetic shifts in our world. Again, this hasn't happened, having the full moon on our summer solstice. The same day hasn't happened since 1948, and it won't happen again until like 2060 something. I didn't get that exact date, but it's going to be a really long time. So powerfully, energetically building that fire and harnessing the fluidity of our feminine areas, bringing them together so they work in balance and harmony with each other. Too much fire, we burn out. Too much water, we weigh ourselves down. We log up with water. So we got to find that balance. So in the next couple of days, I want you to think of that limiting belief and how can we create more fire and more passion and transform that to become more fluid and soft into the intention, the thing that we want instead. So some really good journaling practices. Go out tonight, make sure, look up at the night sky during the sunrise. You can see the sun and the moon, and just bask in the glory of both energies touching you at the same time. I mean, how cool is this? I wasn't alive the last time that this happened, so I will absolutely be outside soaking up the sun and the full moon at the same time, harnessing that power. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching and for all the love. Ooh, good idea for FHE. Super fun. Yeah, everybody go outside, do a little moon dance and a little sunset dance. right? It doesn't have to be perfect yoga. It doesn't have to be the sun salutation. It doesn't have to be a moon salutation. Just go outside and allow your body to freely flow and notice what comes up for you. Notice it. Be aware. Yoga is about the awareness. When I teach meditation classes, a lot of people are like, I just can't get my brain to turn off. Well, we don't want that to happen. If the brain turns off, a lot of really bad things stop happening, like our heart stops beating, our lungs stop breathing, our body stops digesting, and our cells stop rejuvenating and regrowing themselves. We don't want that to happen. But if we can just be aware of what's happening in our brain, don't turn it off, but just sit back like a watcher and just be aware. That was an interesting thought. Wow, this thought is really staying with me for a long time, and it's starting to create a feeling within me. Do I like this feeling? Does this feeling serve me? Does this thought serve me? If it doesn't, what can I do to change it, to remove it, to release it, to transform it into something else? If I do like the thought, how can I keep it with me longer? How can I embrace it more? How can I allow it to seep into the rest of these thoughts that come in? The thoughts alone are not what causes the issues, right? Because we don't know where thoughts come from, they just show up. Well, everybody has their ideas and their theories of where thoughts come from, but science hasn't proved where they come from yet. And so it's not the thought itself that causes us the pain and the frustration, it's the attachment to that thought. It's the attachment and the identification with this thought. Oh, I had this thought and it was a bad thought, so I'm a bad person. And that makes me feel bad. That's where the pain comes from. If we could go, wow, that was a really interesting thought. Do I like that thought? It may be a bad thought. Does that make me a bad person? Do I have to identify with this bad thought? Or can I say, you know what, this thought, I'm going to change it to this. And I like this thought. And if I attach and identify to that thought, how does that make me feel? Does that make me a good person? And none of these questions have to be definitive. There's no right or wrong. It's an exploration. And that's what this time of the solstice and the full moon, exploring our masculine and our feminine coming together and exploring. Exploring, questioning, discovering. What is my masculine and my feminine? Do I live more in my masculine? Am I controlling? Am I powerful? Am I pushing forward? And I don't have enough yin and soft and relax and flow in my life. Where can I harness more yin? Where can I harness more moon, more fluidity? Or are you so laid back and just go with the flow that you really don't have a direction and a power and a purpose? And so you kind of get washed, this way and that way, and then sometimes you're not happy with where you end up. How can we harness more power and more sun to help guide that yin so they come together and benefit you? We're halfway through the year. How are your New Year's resolutions? Did we just kind of flow so much that we let them go? Or did we force ourselves and now we're kind of burnt out? Again, none of these are questions to beat yourself up with. That's not my purpose here. And that's not the purpose of these discovery questions, right? We have tools to use to build things up, not to beat ourselves down. We can use these tools to break down limiting beliefs and patterns that no longer serve us, but not our self-worth. So if we're using these tools on ourselves, bam, 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 I'm an idiot. Why did I do this? I do this every year. Instead of beating ourselves up, that's interesting. I've noticed a pattern where I tend to do this every year. I start at the beginning and I've got power and I've got ideas and I've got goals and I push and force and I don't rest and relax until I burn out. And then we relax and totally let go, and then we're flooded and waterlogged and we've drifted somewhere and it's like, okay, I gotta find power again and I've gotta move forward. So finding that balance and going, okay, what is my cycle? How can I find a good balance between that fire and flow? Mindy, you always have such wonderful ways to help us look at ourselves. I love it. Oh, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. So just, again, ask yourself. I don't understand what you say, but I like it. All right. You get to choose. It's always a choice, right? We have these thoughts and we can choose to attach to it, and identify with it, or we can choose to question it. Is it really true? That is one of my favorite questions I ask with my thoughts. When I have a thought show up and I don't like how it makes me feel, I kind of have to go, is this really true? Is this thought really true? Where are the origins from this? And do I have to hold on to it? Can I let go of it? When can we see you speak? Oh, Michael Marvin, thank you. So a little plug, this Saturday, if you are in Utah, you can come to the Davis Conference Center in Layton. I will be keynoting and speaking on our 7 energetic centers and how we can heal our physical body energetically. Ooh, that sounds really mysterious, right? So if you're familiar with the chakra systems, I will be talking about our chakras and how energetically they can help us fix our physical self. But we got to start in here first and in here first. I don't understand everything either, but little by little I'm learning and understand more. I love you. I love you too, Erin. Jesse, Jen, you're doing great. Leaving the hospital with baby Jane and grateful for your positivity. Yay, that's my baby brother, and he just became a papa. Proud papa. Congrats, Jesse. All right, so if you'd like to come see me and learn more about your energetic centers and how they can heal your physical body from the inside, right? We have these physical elements and they're outside and we can touch them and they're tangible, but they all start in here. And so that's what we're gonna be talking about. You can go to naturallivingconf.com or powerhouseloveevents.com and you can see me there at 9:30. You guys are awesome. I love you. Take some time today to reflect on your masculine and feminine. And if you have any questions or you'd like to learn more, or if you'd like to have a session, a complimentary 20-minute session to check out your balance between your masculine and feminine, message me on Facebook and I'll set that up with you. Bye, namaste.